Consortium of Health and Military Performance, also known as CHAMP, of the Uniformed Services University of Health and Science, known as USUHS, is conducting a study to understand a possible genetic link between sickle cell trait, known as SCT, and exercise-related events, known as EREs, such as exertional rhabdomyolysis, muscle damage, heat stroke, and or collapse. We are inviting African-American men and women with sickle cell trait and their family members to participate. Participating in the study will require you to complete a health history questionnaire, a form authorizing our study physician to gather health information from you and your healthcare provider, as well as a one-time blood donation. In order to qualify for the study, you must meet the following criteria: be African American, be sickle cell trait positive, be able to read, speak, and understand English, be between the ages of 18 and 80, and currently not being treated for any mental or psychological disorders. Participation is completely voluntary, and your decision will not impact your healthcare. The results for this study are for research purposes only and are not intended to directly benefit any individual for confidentiality reasons. However, the results of this study are intended to help better shape policies and associated health risks affecting the SCT community. Participants may be compensated for their time. To join the study, or if you would like additional information regarding the study, please contact the study team by phone, area code 240-479-9514, or email sctstudy-ggg@usuhs.edu.
The views, comments, and opinions of the following program do not necessarily reflect those of Morris Media Studios, MorrisMediaLive.com, or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised.
Straight up. Go out to LA. The new anthem. California Love Part 2. To live in LA. West side. To live in down LA, where everybody try to fatten their pocket. So many hustle for the cash, so it's hard to knock it. Everybody got their own thing, currency chasing worldwide through the hard times.
Well, hello. God bless you, community family, and welcome to Gang Talk. As you can see, we have a full house tonight with two beautiful ladies. One of them I've been waiting for quite a while, not quite a while, just waiting till she's ready and able to come join us. And so, thank you, ma'am. This is our lovely hostess, poetess, that takes good care of us each and every week. And we're so grateful to be here, because it's community business, and we like, we stay in our community. We handle the business in our community, and we like to broadcast from our community. So we're very proud to be at Morris Media doing something that we started on radio in 2009. And as I have indicated, that December 31st is actually my last month doing this. And as I also indicated, my seat can be filled. So I want to thank the ladies that came last week. We talked about teenage homelessness. That's what was a hard subject with Angel, bless her heart. She's just 22 and already experiencing what homelessness in Los Angeles with the high cost of rent can get any one of us at any given moment. And her mentor that came with her, and I'm sorry, we were so excited I forgot to have them sign the book. So, Janice, I really want to thank you for coming and bringing Angel, and just we're going to have you back because Candy Lewis referred her, and anybody that knows Gang Talk knows that we consider Candy Lewis our bully expert. And so she contacted Janet and had Janet come on the show last week to talk about teenagers and homelessness. And this is something we're just not paying attention to, is our kids. So God bless you once again, and welcome to this very important hour. So we're going to have our guests introduce themselves, and let's start with you, Jennifer, since you sitting in the co-host seat. And speaking to the mic.
Hello, my name is Jennifer Rivers, and my son's name was Tevin Price. He was murdered over the red Chuck Taylors.
Yeah. Yes. Okay.
And my name is Samantha Hayes, and my daughter was Hannah Bell, 15 years old, died at a hamburger stand just trying to get something to eat.
Mm-hmm. Just this past April.
April 27th.
April 27th, that's right. And, Samantha, I can't tell you how grateful I am that you joined us tonight, because Jennifer's been here a few times, and, we recognize how hard this is for our mothers and families, and I'm just so appreciative that you would take the time to come and speak to us, because there's no question that it's a tragedy. Jennifer suffered a tragedy, and the worst, it's all bad, okay? There is no worse. It's all bad. But both of these ladies had their children killed in front of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let me say that one more time.
Yes, it was.
Their children were murdered in front
right
of them.
in front of
our
our faces. Mm-hmm. You just don't know, being a parent today, thinking that your kids are safe next to you.
Yeah.
You try to, hold them so close to you.
Yes.
And but something like this happens, really brings you into reality to say, like, wow, we're not safe nowhere. Mm-hmm. At any given time, our children can be taken away by senseless killing. These young men out here in the street thinking they're gang banging, and they're doing it for some great cause. I still haven't heard one of them come to me and tell me what the cause is. They haven't stepped up and said what cause that they're fighting for.
Right. They don't know. They don't know.
Our black children, and I'm going to say the lower minority children, are killing one another.
Yes.
And it's ridiculous for no reason at all.
They don't know why. They don't know why. And this is the sad shame of how it has evolved, because when it started, it was about turf and ownership, and I'm going to control this corner, I'm going to control this neighborhood, and you can't come over here. Well, now there's no control. Okay, you don't own that block. You cannot keep people off of that block. You cannot control who comes and goes. And so that's the reality that has come about out of our madness. But it's still some ignorance.
It's a lot of ignorance.
Yes.
Because you kill somebody and then you go to jail for it, and the person that you're hurting is your parents.
Yeah.
It's your parents that have to send you the packages, because we're going to love our kids regardless, right or wrong.
Right.
And we tried our best to lead them in the right way.
Yeah.
But yes, they do go astray.
Yeah.
We know that.
Well, there's going astray that's different. Okay, going astray is missing curfew, failing your math test. That's going astray. Murder is murder. Yeah. That's a life-altering. Final?
Yeah,
that's the
final.
Same
thing I asked the police when they went out and asked, my daughter's best friend senseless questions.
Yeah.
It's hard to even say to say that the police would even go to, a 15-year-old daughter, her friends that are also 15-year-olds, and ask me as a mother, am I prostituting my daughter on Western?
Yeah.
That was some dirty shit right there.
That was hard.
That
was
right there
hard,
broke my heart.
Yes.
For her friends to call me crying.
Yes.
Knowing how close me and my daughter. I see my daughter, she is beautiful.
Yeah, she's a beautiful girl.
She is beautiful.
Beautiful girl.
My daughter was nothing like that.
Yeah.
You know, all the lies that was told about her being supposed to be witnessing against somebody. She was going to testify against some gang member. My daughter didn't participate in no gangs. Mm-hmm. You know, she was so naive to what gang banging was initially that she and her friends had made up something saying that she's from Nacho Gang. I didn't know Nacho was dissing somebody until later, till this happened.
Nacho is Nacho Gang. That's the joke in that.
Right.
Because I've never heard that either. Nacho Gang.
She's not from Nacho Gang.
I never heard that before. And then I asked you
where you from. I'm from my mother's petunia like everybody else, which means your mother's womb.
Yeah.
You know, that's what my daughter said, you know. Yes. And all her friends, they made up, even the teachers at her school, they came up because we from Nacho Gang, no gang. Right. You know?
Right.
But everybody want to turn it into something else, like my daughter was affiliated. No, you didn't hang out with her. If her mother, her brother, her sister wasn't there, she wasn't alone. So I don't want to hear those lies. Don't walk up to me and tell me, yeah, I used to hang out with your daughter. I know that's a lie. Because my daughter didn't hang out with no one.
You know, and that's a sad... And I'm sorry to say it this way because they're completely different, but it seems to be a pattern to assassinate the character of the victim. It seems really to be a pattern.
Yes.
And the reason I'm saying that, the obnoxious way they're treating both of them, John, in Dallas with this shooting, this officer that comes into his apartment and kills him.
Yeah,
but you see
terrible.
how they have criminalized him.
Right, already.
Criminalized him.
When she's dead wrong. She came in his apartment and killed him.
She came
and
in
she
his
knew what
apartment.
she was doing.
Exactly.
Well, you know
She
what the
wasn't that
point
bold.
is? It wasn't her apartment.
It was
Okay,
his apartment.
and the truth is, those doors do not sit ajar, as some of the other folks that live in the apartment building show you. The door shuts on its own. So for her she's caught in two lies that she couldn't get her key in the door. That was number one. Then the second one, the door was ajar. She thought somebody was in the house. But then she missed the whole red welcome mat in front of his door. You don't have a red mat in front of your door. When did it, so it's just too many uncertainties. Whatever it is, the point I'm trying to make is that they have criminalized the victim. He's a criminal. He's in his house. Maybe he's smoking weed. Maybe he's selling weed. Maybe, all these kinds of things.
He's in his own house.
Did they drug test her?
Right.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, and that's the questions that, the police ask. And they go like, do you think it had something to do with this, that? I'm telling you, why are you looking at that? A crime is a crime. My baby was murdered. Look for the murderer.
Yeah.
Stop looking for everything else in there. You ain't going to find nothing on me. I don't even have a speeding ticket.
Yeah.
So there's nothing to look for. I'm telling you that right now. So going up to my daughter's school, asking all kinds of stupid questions, it's dumb, and you're going to look dumb for doing it.
In fairness. Okay, and look, it's all right because it's a very emotional subject, and your baby was murdered, and nobody has a right to tell you calm down. None of that. The truth is, that's part of the investigation because she's 15 years old. Yeah. They had to go talk to her peers.
She was a minor, and they still didn't let me ride to the hospital.
We haven't gotten to that yet because that's where you and Jennifer have the same scenario. And it's a response, the victimization of the victim's family. And you're talking about being victimized here by law enforcement. Your daughter's the victim, okay? And then they victimize you with these very insensitive questions. Insensitive. But it's part of their investigation. Sometimes they ask the most ignorant questions that make you want to just knock them out. Really. Knock them right on out of your house. Get out.
It wasn't the point that they asked them questions because they told me somebody called in and said that. That wasn't the point. The point was you didn't have them parents there. But you didn't have them children's parents there to ask them first what you could ask them. And you didn't ask me that question first.
And you know what? In fairness to the family, if somebody's going to call and tell what I'm doing, I deserve to know who that is. Exactly. I deserve to know who that is. Exactly. Somebody called you and told the police that I was prostituting my daughter. I want to know who that is. Okay,
I don't believe that.
I don't believe it either.
I don't believe it either.
But the idea, just the idea that they would say something like that. The idea that they would say something to you like that somebody called in and
well, they didn't say that to me at all, and I wouldn't have known if the kids wouldn't have called me.
Okay,
I talk to these kids even to this day. These were my daughter's best friends.
Okay. So they didn't say that to you?
No.
Okay.
I said it would have been more respect.
The kids.
Yeah.
They went up to her school and pulled these young ladies out their class and asked them this silly question. When they were wrong for that because their parents without their parents being there. Their parents without even asking me.
That's a lawsuit.
Yeah. They did ask the...
You know, the truth.
That's violating their constitutional rights, basically, to me it is.
I agree with you.
Especially them being a minor without their parents. I just didn't understand that.
But the laws have changed. They have changed. And even I'm not clear about it, but they can come and question your kids.
Oh, yeah, I know the children's services and went to the school and questioned some people's kids I know. Like, when they wasn't supposed to do that. You out of line. And
Well, social services, I don't know, but law
social
enforcement.
services, they do that too. They can do that.
Yeah, they do.
They can do that.
Done that with them.
Yeah. They can do that with no questions asked because their thing is they're there to protect the child.
Right.
My child is already gone. What about protecting me? I called you to protect and serve me. That's a whole nother issue, with me too. The way they treated me the night my baby got killed. So,
Well, those are two different issues now, and a lot of similarity in them in the insensitivity in it, because law enforcement has a job to do, social services does too, and both of them seem to be failing in the sensitivity arena. And we've had too many cases where social services has neglected children that actually needed their help. And Devon Bailey,
and it wasn't neglected.
6-year-old Devon Bailey, killed by that boyfriend of the mother.
Right, that's
is
so
one
sad.
of them.
That's hurt my
that
heart.
boy came to school with bruises all over him, and the school knew that.
And they knew, and they still let that child
They
be in
knew,
there.
and they didn't.
And he got killed.
All about the time that he was being placed. How did he end up getting placed with that man? You see, so there's a lot of failures. Okay, I don't want to indict the whole department, but they certainly have had their share of failures. In the little Hispanic boy out in Lancaster, I believe Palmdale, Lancaster, same thing. Child abuse, stepfather, child abuse.
What about the little 3-year-old baby and her mama beat her and put her in a duffel bag in the closet because she was peeing on herself and had 4 other kids? So that's my friend's.
You know that mother?
Yeah. How about that? She's in jail.
Well, that's a whole different.
Actually, they didn't even do nothing to her. She's in jail right now, but.
Yeah. Well, we're hearing horror stories in the double standard in the justice system. There's no question about it. You can be in one community and brutalize a child and get probation.
Yes.
You can sexually brutalize a child and have the judge say, well, I think prison would be too hard. Let him go home. You see, so it's a double standard. So
example.
This is why we have to be specific. When we talk to them down here, we have to be specific about what we want. And the problem has been at the scene, as you said, they diverted your attention so you couldn't get in the ambulance and ride with your daughter.
And they promised me.
Yeah.
They promised me that they was going to give me, that I was going to ride in that ambulance.
You should have been in the ambulance.
And then they lied on the news and said I was.
No.
And held her hand.
Yeah,
all the way there on the news.
They said that on the news.
And I'm saying, wow. You didn't even give me a ride in a police car that followed behind her.
That's what they should have done.
And then you wait 20 to 35, 40 minutes to even tell me where she was.
Yeah. Well, you know what? See, this is all a part of the
so y'all wouldn't leave out the crime scene.
Let me ask you.
You got me standing over here in the crime scene while you asking me these questions while they putting my baby naked and got her naked in the streets.
Yeah.
First of all, and you had that out on the news too. I was really appalled.
Yeah.
Then they want to cover up at the last minute. You didn't have my baby naked on the streets. Then you put her on this gurney and push her away, and I'm telling you, I got to make it to my daughter. You come over and put another police officer in my face to ask me the same questions that police officer asked me.
Right.
And I'm telling you, I need to go with my daughter.
Right.
Let me go. Now you saying I'm getting irate. Why? I'm ready to go with my daughter.
Okay, and you know what? If any times it'd be irate, that would be the moment. That would be the moment. This is why we need. So then they in there. They said they're trying to prop her. They're trying to do this, that, and the other. And they were.
And then they took over.
They were.
And that's not the problem. If I couldn't ride in the inside,
they should have brought you.
Why wasn't I in the first police car?
She could have rode inside the ambulance in the front seat with the thing like they usually let parents do.
That's what happened with my son.
At the very least,
they didn't put me in a car. Even when you left, they're gonna tell me. Well, and then when they took off, I said, "Where is they going?"
Mm-hmm. They didn't even
we
tell
don't
you
know.
Hospital
They're going to tell me you don't know. Y'all didn't leave here before y'all didn't know that.
Yeah.
You knew exactly where she was going. You know exactly. Don't try to play me. This ain't my first child. I have multiple children. I have 5 children. I've been to the hospital many a time. So don't try to play me.
This was different.
And then you're going to manhandle me and push on me.
Samantha. This was
Okay, I'm
different.
getting upset.
Come on. And you have a right to be upset.
Okay.
But you have to also understand this was different. This was an emergency.
Okay, it was
An emergency. A tragic, devastating emergency, dadgummit.
I'm not going to take away from that.
Yeah.
But the emergency also should have been that I should have been in the first thing behind her.
You should have been.
I shouldn't have had to wait for my friend to try to come through red tape to get to me.
See, this is what we see.
I shouldn't have been pushed
let me
on.
ask you: did you go to the meeting with the mothers of murdered children with the police chief?
No, because I had a meeting before.
Did you go?
I had a meeting the day before.
Okay, well, this is why I wanted to find out what you got from that meeting. See, because these are questions we really need to get him to answer.
Well, no, because I had a private meeting with him about these same questions. They told me they wanted me to come in and talk to the new trainees that's coming in and be a spokesperson for the trainees to know how to be compassionate towards people. I have no problem with that, but I still want the man to put his hands on me. Why can't I speak to that man? That's the one that needed the most.
Apologize.
That's the one that needed the most. That's where mine is.
Was this an officer at that time?
Yes, and then I asked for his badge number, and all the officers there protected him and said, they stood in front of me and told me I had to get it from him. So then,
let me say this. When we have those kind of complications, the first thing we ask for is that officer to be transferred. Okay? When we get those kind of... we have to have policy here. You see, it's not enough to just... Listen. It's not enough just to anger and say things to them.
They told me he was reprimanded. What they told me he was?
Reprimanded.
Yeah, reprimanded.
No.
How can you go reprimand somebody I ain't pointed out?
Okay. Now, that's a good question.
I want to know that.
Because they know. They know.
They know who he was.
They know who it is. And that's the point we're trying to make. If he had, listen.
Well, have him apologize. I don't need the chief and the deputy chief and all the people that they done came up in front of me, the instructor, all of them came and sat before a table with me, and they all apologized for a man. I told them, I don't say that one, spoiled apple, one bad apple spoiled the whole bunch. But that's the man that needs to apologize to me.
Look.
You guys, I appreciate that you're saying that you want to make a change in the department.
They need to.
I appreciate that.
And they need to.
And I admire that. And yes, I would come out and speak to your trainees.
Yes.
But what about the ones that's already there? They need to be hearing this. Not the new ones coming in. We want to touch the ones that's already here that don't have no compassion.
Did you hear what I said?
And I probably didn't.
Look, we have to have some bottom lines in South Bureau. And if we got officers that are not cooperating, the way you're suggesting this one officer is not cooperating, we don't want him in our community.
Exactly.
That's a bottom line. That's a bottom line. You don't get to kill our family members and then patrol the neighborhood. That's one thing that we demanded after Alicia Thomas was killed in that squad car. And I spoke to the South Bureau chief at the time, and he promised me, look, sister, if I can't get her fired, I'm going to make sure she does not patrol South Bureau anymore. So those are the kind of results we're looking for. If we're not getting the cooperation and the sensitivity training, we need to get those people out of here. That's the agenda. What's that apology going to do if he goes out and does that to somebody else?
My thing is, he doesn't even know how I felt because I haven't had the opportunity to speak to him.
Right.
He don't even understand what he did, how he wronged me in that time.
Why isn't he coming forward? Why isn't he coming forward and saying,
Because they're not going to let him come forward. They're protecting him for some reason. And then I look like the bad person because I'm the one always saying something. They always like, hush, hush on this part.
Don't let people tell you, do not let people put that notion in your head that you're acting like that. Oh, no. You're acting like a grieving mother, which is what you have a right to do and be. And people don't have the right to tell you to control that anger. Right. You don't have to. That's your baby that was on the ground. Okay? You didn't put her there. Somebody else did. Right. Now, we needed the paramedics. Listen. We needed the paramedics to save her. They weren't able to. We needed the police to make sure you got to the hospital right behind her to be sure she had some support that she recognized.
Exactly.
Okay? They didn't do that. You see, and then you're talking to me about an officer that acted really out of line at that time. That's 3 strikes in one circumstance. we've got to go back and talk to them about their conduct.
Exactly.
Yeah. You see, we don't want to repeat of that.
I was mad all the way from top. Then I get to the hospital and you don't even let me kiss my baby.
Oh, didn't somebody tell you could do that at the morgue?
Yeah, they told me after she gets to the mortuary, then I can do that.
Yeah.
And she's not in her flesh. She has, what they use.
But that was such a rude, cruel thing to say. That wasn't even necessary. It wasn't even necessary. They didn't have to add that. And had I been there, I'd have gotten a picture of that employee. I'd have got, because this is what I've started doing. And I'm, Jennifer, I've been in situations where we've had the law enforcement has shown up. When they act wrong, I pull my cell phone out and take their picture.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to be confrontational. But if I have to come back, at least I know who I'm coming back for.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm not coming back after all of them. I'm going after that one nurse that told you could see your baby at the mortuary. Just the one. In that whole building, just the one. You see, and so this is the way we have to be proactive in our business. If we're going to ask the police to bring in sensitive...
And that wasn't even that was the doctor who told me that. That wasn't even a nurse. That was the doctor that said that this is a homicide, so therefore we can't let you see her.
Yeah.
But you can see her, at the mortuary.
They didn't tell me that. I was
all right,
California
because part of that...
No, it was USC and Torrance.
Part of that is...
Harbor, UCLA.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Harbor?
Harbor.
Okay. Well...
I ain't never known that.
Yeah, they ran me.
They let me in there with my son. I wasn't leaving until they let me see my son.
They let me see her through a window.
Oh no! They tried to do that to me. No, I'm touching my baby. And I said, I want that out of his mouth. I said after the morgue do that autopsy, I made them give me that. The man, I went up there when Angelus went to pick his body up that Sunday.
I felt helpless and
I went up there. I was demanding. They were very, very.
I was so angry.
I'm telling you, I flipped.
I couldn't catch a break.
I already know. I know.
I couldn't catch a break from her getting shot to the police department to the ambulance to the hospital. Everywhere. Nobody, just kept slamming the door. That's what it felt like. Like I just kept on getting slammed on, till I was like, oh my God, Lord, what are you trying? You're really trying to let the devil defeat me and tear some stuff up in here. I really wanted to just really lose my mind. But everything is because of her. I know that I said I got to do this and I got to do that and I got to be strong and I got to do this and I know in the back of my mind that's only God that made me not just not care.
Yeah.
Not care.
Yeah.
Not care. The night that police officer, it took every ounce of strength in me not to sock him in his face, but I knew I wouldn't make it to the hospital if I did.
Yeah.
But him putting his hands on me, pushing on me, grabbing on me, for what? Because I was in the crime when it happened, and I'm contaminating it.
Right.
Can you believe that?
I can't believe that. That was so
I'm contaminating the crime scene.
He
and the
contaminated
crime was
it.
Against me. This is my child I brought into the world.
Yeah.
This is my child that I was there with her first breath, and you took away me being there in her last.
Yeah. Yeah.
She rode off thinking that I didn't care about her because I wasn't next to her.
No,
that's what I feel because they took that from me.
I know, but no.
Yeah.
She didn't see no familiar face, and I know she
feel the
looked
same
for
way
me.
she do.
Yeah,
and I know she looked for me.
I told you that so many times.
Yeah,
and I know she looked for me
because Tevin kept asking him. He raised up when they were trying to put the thing in his mouth, and he said, "I want my mother to ride." When the lady told me no, the blonde-haired police lady, she pushed my arm back. I said, "You know what I told her, right?"
Yeah, I'm sure, Jennifer. I'm sure, girl, because I would have been right there with you. I'd have been right there with you because you know what? It's trauma. It's trauma.
It's really sad that, and she's a senior deputy. You have 2 stripes on, and you mean tell me you don't know how to be compassionate? You don't need your job. Matter of fact, you need to get out of that area.
Some of them don't. Some of them they don't. They, it's just a job. It's just a usual. It's just you.
That every time that you go to a crime scene, it's really a gang member that got shot. But when there's not a gang member, y'all treat them like a piece of shit.
Mm-hmm.
But you want to treat the gang members like they're just whatever, like they just all this. No.
Well, you know what? To put a pin in that.
Because them gang members go over there and act stupid.
To put a pin in it, if you live in this community and you're a person of color, you're already labeled a gang associate. You're just labeled that way. You're labeled that way. The paramedics, the police, fire department, we're all gang members. Right. I'm a gang member because of the block I live on.
Anytime that they go, he said 99.9% when they go to a shooting that they're gang members. And so their lives, it's not important that they rush there like that because
exactly. It makes you not think, did you even work on my baby? And
so that part right there, so that made me think when I looked at the report from the hospital, it showed that the doctor told me that they placed the tubing down my son's throat wrong. And I have the paperwork.
Okay. And,
it's like when I went and questioned the paramedic about it, I asked him, what did my son say? How was he acting? He said, I don't know. He's just anybody else that got shot. I went the hell off right there in the fire department station downtown. I'm Station 3.
That's crazy.
He told me that. So I told him, you don't need to work there. Don't you know I've been trying to find an attorney?
Your baby was shot in the chest, and my baby was shot
twice in the back,
in the lower
in her legs,
and I asked them, and they said my baby was unconscious. They did all this to her, but I kept her conscious the whole time till the ambulance made it there. Even when they put her on the gurney, she looked at me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I gotta go with my baby. She's looking for me.
Yes.
She's looking for me.
Yes. Well, you know what? These are policies that we have to fix.
These are some cold-blooded cops, some of them.
Well,
and the paramedics too, because they don't have no compassion. I don't feel like they should be a paramedic or EMT
you can't send your,
if you don't have compassion.
You can't send
it's not no job for that.
If your child breaks his leg, you can't send them in the ambulance by themselves, and that's a bad break.
They got to ride with
if them. They hit by a car, the parents have to ride.
I rode with my son Tevin when he got hit by a car.
My son, they
let me ride in the front.
I'm not sure what the difference is other than a gunshot. That's the only
thing. It's my minor. But anything that they did, I'm thinking that anything operational, you have to have consent for.
A gunshot is different. It's different.
Yeah, they say
that's an emergency. A broken leg they can set, but a gunshot we got to find what arteries are they going to bleed out? Have they hit a vital organ? You see, all of these questions. I'm sorry because I really don't want to interrupt you, but in a situation like that, it's different. It's different, okay? But still, even if it is different, there has to be a process that includes a family. The first thing is to treat the family with some sympathy, some dignity, some empathy, and make sure that the family is on top of everything they're doing. Mom, dad are on the way, even if they're not in the ambulance, they're in a police car on their way following that ambulance to its destination. Somebody from the family, let me say this, somebody from the family should be there at the hospital when that ambulance arrives. If it's not the mother, it's got to be somebody close to. Yeah.
I was right there, and that's what I'm saying. If I had been home and she went to the hamburger stand by herself and you came and treated me like that, I have a better reason because I don't know what's going on.
You should have been there.
You understand? But I'm right there. Mm-hmm. And you still don't treat me like I shot my own. That's how I was treated that night to me. Like, what you thinking? I shot her?
Yeah.
They tell me I'm contaminated. What you think? I did it? I set it up. What is wrong with you?
You get some crazy reactions at that
Man,
time,
you
and you know what? And I'm so sorry to say it this way, but I've heard this so many times. I've heard this so many times through the years, so many times, and this is one of the reasons why we've had to push back. We've had to push back on them about this sensitivity training. Skip and Taco used to do it. Now they've kind of shoved the sensitivity training aside, but now they're asking you if you'd like to participate. And I think that's a good opportunity for you and for the community, because we need to have our eyes on who's coming through that door.
Exactly.
Okay, and how are we going to get to see them if you don't get in that class and look in their face and see who's coming our way?
Right.
You see, so, we damned if we do and damned if we don't. Really damned if we don't. Really damned if we don't. Do you hear what I'm saying? If we don't get our eyes on them, if we don't make these policy changes.
Exactly. And I told them I have no problem. I would love to do that. Because I don't never want a parent to go through this. And like I said, if they had told me I couldn't ride and that they needed to work on her because it was that, I can understand, but I shouldn't get in the first car behind
They
it.
should have told you.
You had a police car traveling
behind
it.
They should have told you
Why
that.
wasn't I in it?
In that squad car taking you behind the ambulance.
And then on
that's
top of
the way
that,
it
you
should
have
be.
on the news that I rode in there holding her hand.
No.
And you know that's a lie, because
I was like,
all the mothers before me haven't rode in there.
No.
Detective Crossan, I called him the next day. I didn't even call him the next day. I called him that night when it happened. And I was like, how dare them let... I was happy that you got to ride when they said that, right? I was like, oh, that's so good of her, because at least she got to ride with her baby. Mm-hmm. I didn't get to ride with my son.
Right.
So I called Crossan and left him a message. He called me back, Ms. Rivers, calm down. I'm like, no, you going to check that out. He said the mother did not ride with her daughter. Yeah. They lied. The news camera lied.
Yeah, they lied.
He said, I said, no, you telling me. You just trying to make me feel good. He said, I promise, Jennifer. Ms. Rivers, I'm telling you, listen to me. I never tell you nothing wrong.
You're hearing from her. You're hearing it right from her. She did not get to ride. And that's not surprising. Okay?
Yeah,
it's not surprising because, well, look, it's a trauma going on right now. Mm-hmm. You can't help them with that trauma. You can't treat your daughter. You can treat your son. There was nothing you could do. The only thing they should have done was make sure that you was there when they got to the destination.
You have to understand also, not me, but just like any other mother, they may not have no car and it happened to them. So what is it you're not giving them a ride?
That's why the police was supposed to take you.
But then when they took off, that's what they said. Yeah. They're going to give me a ride. And I'm waiting, and I'm waiting, and I'm waiting. Well, where is the ride? They already left. When am I going to get in the car? I'm ready to go.
Yeah, they failed you that
Get out
night.
I'm not until you placing me in this car to go. Yeah. By this time, a friend walks up, and she comes, and I get in the car with her.
Yeah. Yeah, that was handled wrong. That was handled wrong.
Same thing. I had to get rushed. My niece took me. Yeah. They would not let me ride. But you want to manhandle me, lady? Get your hands off me.
Yes.
Manhandle you and manhandle her.
Yeah. And you
two different cases.
Yeah, Officer Broom.
But they expect us to act with some decency, and they didn't.
Please.
My baby got hurt in front of me.
Then the police ask you to beg you not to say nothing about it.
Yes.
Because they don't want, even though they're good cops, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, they be trying to, cover up for the other. Like you say, damn if you do, damn if you don't.
Yeah. And to be fair to South Bureau, I just want to be a little fair. When I started, they were half of the problem. They were half the problem.
77 was the problem.
South Bureau.
And
South Bureau, okay.
Southwest.
Southeast, 77, Southwest, they were a problem.
Even Newton Street.
Well, I'm in South Bureau, okay, and shooting Newton is just on the other side of the border that we couldn't go after them for Ezell Ford's killing.
Right.
Believe me, but I was over there. Over there, and the truth is, the chief at the time really wanted to get involved in that, but it was right at the border because there's Newton, and he's right across the street. It's like, sister, I can't do nothing. But dang, we need some questions answered. Right. But he couldn't help me because that's Central. Right. Newton's in Central, and one of my associates
Yeah, I've seen you
told me it was Shooting Newton. It's just Shooting Newton. Yeah, you didn't know that, sister? They've been calling Shooting Newton forever.
Wow.
Like, man, all of them around us have been dirty. Right. But I just, I started in the days when South Bureau Homicide let the street take care of the retaliation. They didn't go and do any arrests. They didn't do any investigation. They were not looking for murderers. They were waiting for the street to resolve it. Okay? So in the last 10 years, they've changed that around because they got really embarrassed with that midnight creeper man that was raping and killing the women.
Lonnie Franklin.
Yes, Lonnie Frank. See, you know Lonnie.
And I know him. He stayed right next door to my uncle, right there on 70th.
Oh, wow.
That's so crazy, right there on Western.
Yeah.
And 80th.
Yeah.
Wow.
And my uncle and them stay right there on 79th, and my other aunt stay right next door to him.
And he's just operating right under them all that time.
He killed our neighbor's, my uncle's neighbor's daughter. Their 15-year-old daughter. Yeah.
Lonnie was a hot mess. I'm going to say that. He was a hot mess.
He was a hot mess.
He really was. And operating under their noses. But see, those women, they weren't searching because the women were expendable in their mind. Right. They didn't matter. They just sent them to the morgue. Jane Doe. You see, so...
Yeah, but once that baby was involved, then they did something. So how did they find him?
No, I know he shot one of these girls, and he pulled up in front of her house, and he took her on that street, and she remembered. He thought he killed her, and she didn't die, and she jumped and ran.
Mm-hmm.
Wow!
And she went back, and she got the police and went back, and they drove her around, and she remembered the street, and she parked down the street and told them that's the house right there. They went up in there. They already had arrested. How they really got Lonnie was through his son.
Right, his son's DNA.
His son's DNA, because he was getting ready to get out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's how they got him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All this time. And then my friend Fanny, she had got a gun for him. And one of the guns, they took her to jail because the forensic came back with her name on the bullets or whatever on the gun.
Wow.
But she had to let them know that she bought the gun and let him use it. He said that some gang members was trying to shoot him over there off of Western where he lived at. So she let him use the gun.
No.
That's a no. And he was killing that girl. That's the same gun that he shot that prostitute with and came back. And that's the gun that he got caught with. And that's why he's in jail right now, which is a good thing.
Where he should be.
Where he should be.
Yeah.
I know a couple of girls on there that went to school with me that he killed. They like the second ones on the first line up there.
That's crazy.
On that all those women he killed.
Well, we want to get back to the part that we're trying to...
Right.
Yes, I want to.
We got to catch this murderer.
Well, LAPD caught the murderer of your son. They caught the murder of your son. Yeah. And we're grateful for that because the crew around that neighborhood denounced the killing of your son. Mm-hmm. They did not hide them. They didn't support them. They didn't shy away from it.
And I stayed on the news every day.
They did everything but point a finger at them, okay? Right. But LAPD put that task force together and went to Texas to get your son's killer. Now, they put a task force together for Tevin. They put a task force together for a little 6-year-old Devon Bailey that was killed where social services failed that baby. And there have been some when Kashmir James was killed Christmas Day in front of her 3-year-old daughter. They put a task force together and made sure they got the killers. They got Aaron Shannon's killer. They got Devon Bailey's killer. They got Kashmir James's killers. Mm-hmm. And the shame is that in Herron and Kashmir James's case, it was an older gang member teaching the young wannabes, this is how you do it. Mm-hmm. So the 20-something-year-old is the one that's doing the driving. The 30-year-old instructor is the one doing the killing with a little 15, 16-year-old in the back learning this is how we do it. Mm-hmm. Wow. See, so that's what happened with Kashmir James. That's what happened with Aaron Shannon. That older man was escorting that 18-year-old down the alley, showing him this is how we do it. Well, in both of those cases, all of these cases, with the exception of yours, the community came out and said, hey, that's who did it. That's where you can find them. We're not a part of this. This is what amazes me about Hannah.
Ain't nobody saying nothing.
Ain't nobody said nothing.
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 Because it's too mixed up in these games. And they want to say that they're a snitch. And
no.
I need some community heroes. It's a
this is not a snitch. This is not a snitch.
$1,000 reward for some information for my baby. And I'm hoping somebody needs that and will speak up, and be the hero that I need.
Yes.
You know, because I need a hero.
Yes.
So I can feel at ease.
She deserves a hero. She deserves a hero. That hamburger stand deserves a hero. It's right up the street from the church where Ceasefire meets.
Exactly.
That hamburger stand's on 78th. The church is on 79th. Come on now.
And my uncle's the same block like that.
Yeah. I have bought food out of that hamburger stand because my kids buy food out of that hamburger stand. And they told me, Mom, the food's good. So I could have been over there myself.
That was Quick and Split back in the day.
I wasn't going to Quick and Split. Okay, my kids wasn't going to Quick and Split.
Yeah, but you already know how bad it was then.
It was bad everywhere.
I know.
Back in the days of Quick and Split, it was bad everywhere. There are just some corners you couldn't go to. And in those years, I couldn't go to that Quick and Split.
But somebody told me
I couldn't. No.
They told me that this place was, that it was, but nobody told me until afterwards. They should have said you should have known better than to go there.
That's crazy, because I go there.
They told me the same thing about the car wash, and I live right around the corner from the car wash.
They said they had so many fights and everything in front of there. Because the weed shop is right across the street.
It's a historic corner. I know it's had historic
they have
problems.
So many meetings and all kinds of things there from what I hear. And that's just the streets talking. That's gangbangers that came up to me saying that they're so sorry that this happened.
Mm-hmm.
We never thought that something could happen right here, on this block.
Right.
That was... But if they're looking for y'all and y'all own this block...
Well, you know what? That I have to give credit to the men because that press conference for you, the men really showed up. Really, OGs, that corner was packed.
Yeah.
Packed with men from the community, from this level that know what's what and who's who and how it rolls, and to see all of them turn out for you, and we still don't know. That's a phenomena that just doesn't make any sense. Somebody knows.
Yeah, somebody knows.
Somebody knows.
Somebody definitely knows.
Yeah. Yes.
Somebody definitely knows.
Yeah. Well, this is very hard conversation.
I'm just hoping that somebody, speaks up. It's not too late.
No.
Please say something.
There's no statute of limitation on murder. It really isn't. And the sad truth is that I know too many mothers that their murder of their children is still free. Yeah. Vicki Lindsay's one. Vicki Lindsay. The murder of her son is still free. Yeah. Not one of them stood trial, and he was killed in a car with his friends. Mm-hmm. So she knows who killed her son, but they've never stood trial.
Mm-mm.
No. See, so there are a lot of unresolved cases. As I said, it used to be a time with South Bureau.
Well, I'm not going to rest until this one's resolved.
Well, that's
this
a good...
This is just something that I
we got to press them detectives, though.
Well, this is the thing that's changed. As the homicides have gone down, their arrests have gone up. Their arrests, they actually are doing
really
some
are
arrests.
catching these murderers. They really are.
Yeah, they really are. This is something they didn't used to do, but they are doing it now.
Like I say, I feel in my heart that they're going to catch who done this to this baby.
Yes, they are, eventually.
Let me tell you something. This is a serious case. All the cases are serious, but this is a case that they shot this child in front of her mother.
Yes.
You don't do that.
Yes, you don't do that.
You don't do that.
That's what I don't understand, why her killer is still free. There's a street code.
There's a street code for that.
Yeah, it's a street code for that.
Trust me, they finna come up.
I didn't know they had a code.
Oh yeah, it's a street code.
That's how naive I am. I didn't know it was a code.
Well,
it's a gang banging code. I didn't even.
You know.
You don't kill nobody in front of their mama.
No, and you don't kill them when their kids present either. But the code has changed through the years, and it's not the gang that is the formal gangs that we know. Some of this is road conduct. Some of it's wannabe. Some of it's like they think they're gonna get credit. That sick thing.
My thing is now they even doing this to
Well, that it didn't stop them from killing Gary. Gary Twin Thornton. They killed him, and he is a peacemaker. Yeah, they killed Gary, okay, and they thought they was going to get credit and props from their gang, and the gang said, "Oh hell no, you didn't kill the wrong one." See, so they did not stand behind them at all,
yeah,
and so the police.
When you have to go and I said I'm so naive to. When they try to get you to become a gang member, they initiation.
Yeah.
So I was thinking that maybe this is an initiation. You just come up to a hamburger stand and just start shooting.
They do that.
Yeah.
So
they do all that stuff for initiation.
But usually in an initiation, you have an escort. They don't send you an initiation by yourself.
It was escort.
It was an escort in the car.
Okay. There was a car.
It was a car involved.
Okay. They led us to believe that the shooter ran eastbound.
No,
That's why the camera.
But
he ran to a car.
Right.
Yeah. No, they led us to believe that he was on foot and ran east, and that the cameras couldn't pick up.
That's the thing that they're saying. That's what kills me. They tell you
but
one
that's
thing,
a crime
and
corner.
they don't bring nothing up.
You should have big cameras there.
Yeah.
Big cameras should be up on light poles.
Yeah.
Well, you can't even get up there and get them.
Yeah. Well, they do have some on some intersections, and that's really how they find some of them.
They really starting to put them around now.
Mm-hmm.
They try to sit the police cars in the neighborhood like that means something. They don't care. They'll burn that police car up, too.
Nobody's worried about a black and white.
Since this happened, though, and I was still staying in my friend's house over there, I have seen so many police cars patrol that thing. I said, wow, it takes my baby... Murder for you to come really patrol, this area, because somebody on Florence got murdered, and then somebody on Manchester got murdered, and then they had some tape 2 blocks around. I don't know what happened there. I don't know if it was a murder or somebody got robbed right there at the pizza place. So it's like, Jesus, it's like you can't even walk outside. It's tape here, tape there, but police really have been out there on Western. Before I walked away from there, I really seen them patrolling. But my thing is you patrolling now, or are you looking for, No, they just patrolling.
Well,
a day late and $1 show.
My evaluation is still coming in, and I'm looking for our mothers to tell me, let me know what we're missing, so we know what we have to go after them for. Right now, it continues to be sensitivity, okay? Especially in a traumatic event like this, we need the greatest sensitivity possible. Some are, but then we have some that are not. Exactly. And the ones that are not are free to leave. We want them to know, you ain't got to work down here. Exactly. We're not going to mind if you go patrol the valley. Just go somewhere else. We don't want you around here with the wrong attitude. That's really what we're trying to weed out, that nasty attitude. We don't need that anymore.
How about half of them were bullied? They got bullied, so now they get on the police department, so they want to bully other people.
They don't get to do that in South Bureau. See, that's why we have to have our hands on and our eyes on them. See, because we've been through that with them. We're not going through that. No They've already caused 2 riots in our community because of them. Right. We are not going back there. We are not going back there. No more Daryl Gates. No. See, so this new man has to come and act like he's community-minded, or at least a little concerned, because we don't know him.
Right.
We don't know him. And since I started this work, I had to make it my business to know who's running the show. And the beauty about it, when I started, was Kenny Garner. Okay, and Kenny was just as much on my side as he was against the gang members shooting our kids. But I bet you, when Michael Singleton was killed coming home from Dominguez on the freeway, Kenny turned over every rock till he found those shooters. And it's like, oh, you ain't never going to find them because they was on the freeway. They shot him and just drove on about their business. You ain't even got a car description. You don't know. Kenny turned over every rock until he got both of those men.
Well, where's Kenny at?
He died.
Because I need Kenny right here.
He died.
Unfortunately. Do he have a son?
No. Kenny bless his heart. Kenny had a heart attack. Kenny had a heart attack. Look, he had a heart attack at 50 and left us like that.
Oh, wow.
And we had to start all over again. But it was Bill Bratton that gave us Kenny Garner. Okay, but it was so new. It was like, well, Bill, you said you're going to do all this. Okay, you gave us Kenny. Great start, great start. So we were really making some progress under Bratton. We could see some changes happening in the ones that were begrudging. They didn't really want the change, so really. But Bratton was like, no nonsense. You either going to do it my way or you can hit the highway.
Right.
That's the way he was. And he put Kenny out on Front Street as a recruiter, as a face of South Bureau, to get us to have a little compassion for them, and really did try to get us to join the force, all right? And Kenny was an upright brother from the neighborhood, from the community, that say, hey, look, I'll catch any gang member, a murder, if you help me. If I got some bad officers with a badge, give me a name. Tell me who we talking about so I can do something about it. But just to blanket, curse all my cops, I'm not accepting that. But I know I got some bad apples. But guess what? Y'all got some bad apples too. Can I find some witnesses? I'm not asking for snitches. I want some witnesses. So that's the way he was with us. And we had great faith in him until he passed so fast. And Bratton had to find somebody to fill his shoes. It's like, so everybody that's come in since Kenny has been put under the microscope. We've been checking them right down to the detail. Who are you? What are your intentions? And so we've been able to push some policy changes because believe me, it used to be a whole lot worse. As bad as they arrested Minister Tony for doing what you did. He's out there over a murder victim, got the nation out there, and the young man was moving under the sheet, okay, and the community was hostile. He's still alive, watch it. And Minister Tony made an issue of it. So the cops on the spot arrested him and took him to South Bureau. Earl Passenger and Kenny Garner went down to South Bureau. Minister, what happened? What you know?
Yeah.
So
and
they
came. And I really think that that's what that officer was trying to do to me, push me,
probably
make me act. You know, of course I janked away from him, but no, I mean he was really trying to, and I told him too. It's officers like you that give the rest of you bad names, you know?
Yes, that's true.
And then when I told him, I said, let me get your badge number, so I go to look, and he walked away. You know? Yeah. And then the other officers, I said, I want his badge, you have to get it yourself. You see, he way over there, and y'all not letting me through to get
but y'all ain't letting me through to get that badge number.
You know, my phone was dead. I only made one. The only call I got to make was the 911 call and to my best friend that I was staying with. 2 calls, and it died.
That's crazy.
2 calls.
That's crazy.
The 2 most important calls that I had to make, I made them. So I'm not mad at that. I made that. She could call everybody else in the road.
Well, I'm just being a smart aleck, because I'm not traumatized, okay?
But you know,
and
from now on, I definitely will be
using
my phone. Anytime I see something, I sure will.
Yes.
I sure will.
I've gotten to doing that myself.
So if I don't get a badge, at least I got a face.
Yeah.
But that man knows. That man, he knows
who he is.
No, he's in my head.
Oh, okay.
And if I ever see him,
okay.
I ain't going to put my hands on him.
No.
But I'm definitely going to tell him how I feel.
Well, one thing we want to do for sure is make sure that
he put his hands on me, and that was okay.
No.
It had to be, because to me, you get to put your hands on me. You know?
No, that's unacceptable. And these are one of the reasons why we have to keep meeting with them to make sure that they're.
But that's what I'm saying. They can put your hands on you, but just let me have once went out of my character and put my hands on him.
Yeah. They'd arrested you. They'd have thrown you on the ground and done a Rodney King to you.
Try to beat you.
Okay, let's just be serious about that.
Yeah, but like I said, I got to make it to the hospital. They didn't care about her being
no woman either.
No, he didn't.
No.
You see how they put that lady in the back of the police car, and she died back there. You see that?
You're talking about Alicia Thomas.
And I wasn't allowed that to happen to me that night. But trust me, he was pushing it.
Well, we're almost out of time, and
all I want to say, since we're out of time,
we're still on Crenshaw.
I need somebody to come forth. We have a $50,000 reward for anybody to be my hero and come forth and be that witness for me and my baby. Yeah. I really would appreciate
Show
that.
him her picture again. Look at that beautiful girl.
I got her.
Look at Hannah.
Look at my baby. She's a beautiful girl. She's on both sides. I done seen that one, but this one no.
Jennifer.
Well, I'm here with Samantha, and I got her back because she's walking in my shoes now, and we both lost our kids. They murdered both of our kids in front of us, and it's really hard. I mean, it's hard to lose a child, but to watch someone come and literally kill your child in your face, it's not. That's a life sentence. That's like, basically, I'm doing time with these idiots that killed my child in my face with no respect, no remorse, no nothing, and I forgot to say they filed an appeal, so I got to look at them again next month. So, I guess it's a procedure, but I don't know. Sometimes I think, what I'm going to do to them when I see them again. Should I jump him and bite his face off this time? Or
no, you're going to call me and we're going to go ride together and look and make a decision when we get there, okay?
Yeah. So I was like, oh, no, I said, I ain't going to do that again, but the day of the sentences, they were so disrespectful. So I'm just saying, when they do catch them, I want the mothers to know that they have 3 chances to file an appeal, even though they won't get it. But it's just a process, and this process is your brain. Because right now, when I got that call last week, and they told me we got to go back to court, I was just horrified.
Yeah, it's like it hit you all over again.
Yeah.
You just don't understand how having my baby, you relive it almost every other day. It's things like this that get your mind, to work for her. Right. To try to take my mind off of seeing that every day in my head. I don't even sleep because I'm tired of seeing it. Every day in my head.
People just don't understand. Our folks are just not paying attention to this like we need to. But I want to thank you both for coming tonight. It takes a lot of courage to come and talk about this and how painful it is and the shock of it and the anger and all of that is a part of it. And community family, these mothers come here to try to convince you to get on our side of this. These are our children that are killing our children, and it's up to us to make the difference here. And I just thank you, Samantha, for coming, and Jennifer. I
thank her, too, for coming out and sharing her story about her baby.
It's very
where
important.
They can hear her side about instead of people in the streets trying to put a rumor out like her daughter was this and that.
That's another thing that we try to control.
And it's a 15-year-old baby.
A 15-year-old baby. Yeah. And they need to go on with that. And the police officers that was doing that, they need to be checked for that too.
And don't spread any false rumors. And we're going to we're going to keep on working with the police department on these policy changes. But right now we're out of time. And so I just want to thank you, ladies. God bless
Thank
you.
you.
God bless you, community family. Thank you for listening, and Gang Talk will be back next week.
The Consortium of The Consortium of Health and Military Performance, also known as CHAMP, of the Uniformed Services University of Health and Science, known as USUHS, is conducting a study to understand a possible genetic link between sickle cell trait, known as SCT, and exercise-related events, known as EREs, such as exertional rhabdomyolysis, muscle damage, heat stroke, and or collapse. We are inviting African-American men and women with sickle cell trait and their family members to participate. Participating in the study will require you to complete a health history questionnaire, a form authorizing our study physician to gather health information from you and your healthcare provider, as well as a one-time blood donation. In order to qualify for the study, you must meet the following criteria: be African American, be sickle cell trait positive, be able to read, speak, and understand English, be between the ages of 18 and 80, and currently not being treated for any mental or psychological disorders. Participation is completely voluntary, and your decision will not impact your healthcare. The results for this study are for research purposes only and are not intended to directly benefit any individual for confidentiality reasons. However, the results of this study are intended to help better shape policies and associated health risks affecting the SCT community. Participants may be compensated for their time. To join the study, or if you would like additional information regarding the study, please contact the study team by phone, area code 240-479-9514, or email sctstudy-ggg@usuhs.edu.